This whole story, this whole venture has been for my daughter. What's up? My name's P.Locz. I'm a miniaturist from the south side of San Jose, California. So P.Locz, that it was like a alter ego almost. I had a homie, his name's Enrique. He actually gave me the name P.Locz. He always gave everyone short names, and so he was like, "What's up, P.Locz?" And it just stuck one day. I was just like, "Oh shit, I get to not say Porky. You know, I don't have to say Porky anymore. I can just say P.Locz." And it just fucking boom. So that's when when I started making the music coming out in 2018, what was I gonna use, Porky or P.Locz? And I was like, it's like my alter ego almost. You know what I mean? Like I wouldn't listen to Porky, and I wouldn't go see Porky's art. You know what I mean? It's just like one of those, like, it's too abrupt. You know, it's too in your, to me, it's too in your face. Like, it's like I would not want to go see anything Porky does.
We welcome those that don't know. You're now in the land of blow-nose. And for those that don't know, it came from a city we call it San Ho. Welcome to the home of the no cruising zone. We get picked like a comb.
I got a model car for Christmas, and when I got the model car, I put it on top of the shelf and left it there for months. And then my daughter was just like, "What is that? You know, like, can we open it?" And we opened it, and she was like, "Why is it white?" I was like, "Because we have to paint it and build it." And she was like, "Well, let's do it." So we started building that model car from scratch. Started showing her how to paint it. She painted the side. She picked her own colors. We painted it. I had some little, they're called Lokesters, but they're like homies. I had those, and I ended up cutting their legs off so we can sit them inside the car. She loved it. So with that, 2020 happened, and I was like, okay, now that I have the time off, let's try to make something. Because when we entered that car, we had a little rinky-dink display. It was like on a cardboard. It was like a foam board from the Dollar Tree. And some other guy had commissioned a miniature artist to make a taqueria. So he had his little taqueria with his little car, and he won first place best display. And so I told my daughter, I was like, "We're never gonna take second place again, so what do you want?" And she was like, "I want Wiener Schnitzels." And I was like, "All right, well, we're gonna go ahead and get Wiener Schnitzels going." First started, it was real hard. You know, when I made Wiener Schnitzels, I used Google Maps to measure everything. When I went to go do measurements after it was built already, just to see how far it was off, I was off. I was like, whoa, you know what I mean? Like, there's some things I didn't get right. And so I told myself then, I was like, now I'm going to go and measure every spot that I do. If I have a storefront that I'm gonna be doing, I'm gonna go take the measurements of each and every angle, you know, shape of the front. I'll take those numbers, put them into a scale converter, and with that scale converter will give me the actual size in inches. Now I know my blank sizes. So now I know I need to cut this much foam at this size. So I'll cut, you know, the back wall, and then depending on what kind of wall it is, so say it's a cinder block wall, I will go to Google and get the specifications of a cinder block, and then get that and put it into a scale converter. So I'll understand how much each brick's gonna be. So I'll start lining them up, and you just start doing straight lines. Your base, that's where it depends on what you have. Because if you have a dirt ground, if you have grass, if you have, depends, asphalt, you know, that's where it starts getting tricky on what to use. Because if you start using foam and you paint over it, it's just flat. I like to weather it a little bit, you know, paint it all black, primer it, and then come into it with different shades of white and grays, and just trying to make it look like asphalt. Is, like I said, I want all my pieces to look as real as possible. I know it's a display or it's a piece of art, you know what I mean? But at the same time, I want it to look real. You know, I want it to jump out. I start coming up with stories, you know, like with the fairgrounds one, what was happening underneath the layer, that was all just on the whim. You know, I seen a cavity that I carved out with the foam cutter, and I was like, that looks like a cave, you know. And so it kind of just comes, you know. And so when you start scratch building, it just flows to you, you know. So in my first gang picture, when I had taken, I'm not even from a gang, but I had my first gang task picture taken when I was 11 years old at the Santa Clara Fairgrounds from some asshole cops that wanted to fuck with me because I had a red San Jose jersey on. I was 11 years old. I was just fat with slick back hair, you know what I mean, with a red jersey on. They ended up taking my gang picture then and giving me a file.
I've seen the dark side of this, and you know, a lot of the kids don't understand that, you know, their life is on the line.
The department also says this shooting appears to be gang-related and that more needs to be done about this issue.
Take a stand against violence. It's easy to talk, it's easy to march, it's easy to stand up on soapboxes and yell about it.
But it's not just a crime.
Make it count with your
recent spike
vote.
in violence has led to protection in San Jose.
What's happening in the streets, it's been going on. There's 70 years of gangs out here, you know, so there's a whole lifestyle of how people live that's going on that no one really knows about. You don't really get to jump into that lifestyle without harming yourself, you know what I mean? So it's to me, I would like to just incorporate the streets of San Jose, because like I said, there's a whole different world that's going on a lot of people don't know about. You can kind of see it throughout my art. You know, I want to really try to capture the pain, you know what I mean, of what we go through. This is all new to me too, you know, so I just came out in April, so this is all brand new to me, and this is unbelievable actually. I would say how One Culture has been able to help me is with hope and believing. You know, before getting with One Culture, I really didn't have hope for my art like that. You know, I kept it a secret, just like my music, you know, I really didn't put it out. So same thing with my art, is I really didn't put it out. So to be able to have that hope and to see Andrew and everyone so enthused and just like, this is dope, and you know, keep on going, and you know, every piece I make, everyone's just like, wow, you know, so that right there, just, it's more gas to the fuel, you know, so it's just like, whoa, or the gas to the fire. So it's like, they've been able to help me with having hope and being able to believe in myself, you know, that I can do it. You know, before it was just like, how am I gonna do that? Or how am I gonna be able to get that made? And now it's just, I know it needs to be done. At the same time, believing in yourself, you have to believe in yourself. That's, you know, it's one of the main things in art, you know, because if you don't believe in it, they're not gonna believe in it.